Morning. Coffee. The legend, the icon, the game show host that we all know the most, Bob Barker, passed away over the weekend at the ripe old age of 99. And everybody's comments are, so close. So close to what? So close to a number that sounds cooler to you, but probably would not matter in a life that lived 99 years. Oh man, he could have really done something if he got that one more year. That's an us thing. You know what I mean? First of all, R.I.P to Bob Barker. He lived a wonderful life and everyone in the world knows who you are, so you did it. You are the Highlander of Bob Barker. I think that should be a goal in everyone's life. You should try to make your obituary cooler every day. That's a mantra I live by. Every day, try to do something that makes your obituary cool. You know what I mean? Like, dude, it doesn't have to be about getting known, but something that just, other words, when people explain you and say who you were, you lived your best life, you had fun, you did things you wanted to do that made you feel happy, that helped you get through 99 years or whatever it is. And also, try to be the Highlander of your name. You know what I mean? I'm Pat Oates. I try to be the best Pat Oates ever. But all the other Pat Oates just bow down. You know, when they go, someone says that name, they go, oh, you mean that guy? And you're like, yeah, they mean this guy, not the other guy. I'm the guy. Bob Barker's the guy. There's no other. There might be some Robert Barkers or something. I feel like there's a Robert J. Barker. Feels like maybe it's fake. I don't know. Bob Barker is the Highlander of Bob Barkers, and he did a great job living. But I think when people say, this person passed away, and then the other person's response is always, how old were they? We're always doing that for us. It's a comparison to us and where we are. It's not really, because it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And so, like I think it's based on I'm 48. So if someone dies when they're 63, I think a lot of people would go, how old were they when they passed? And they would say 63. And the 48-year-old would go, oh, so young. 63 is not young. You've lived 63 years. That's a long time. Now, is everything too soon? Everything's too soon. Nobody wants to die. So let's get that out. I'm not saying anyone should die, but it's not too young. 63 is not too young. 6 or 3 is too young. 63 is not too young. It's just the person at 48 goes in their head, oh God, in 15 years I'm dead. That's what that is. So at 99, when someone dies, you can't say, so young. You just can't. So you have to go, so close. Because you're thinking in your head, I'd like to hit that number. Live to 100. That feels like you won a game, top score type thing. But you know who doesn't know they're 100? Someone who's dead at 100. Yeah, I don't think you know. I don't think there's a post-mortem birthday. I don't think that happens. But regardless, Bob Barker lived a dope life. He did a dumb thing. He hosted this game show where people would rush down to a man would announce, come on down, your name, and the name would they'd run down, and then get a big old stupidly big name tag. Throw it on like Jerry, and then Jerry with a G. And you're like, oh yeah, they can throw with a G sometimes. And you're watching that while you're skipping school, or you're between work, or you're waiting for your oil change. You're always watching it not in the best of situations. And Jerry comes down and goes, I think beans are $1.79. And then Bob Barker's like, what do you think, Phil? And Phil's like, beans are $1.78. And he would write that. And then Bob would go, okay, and what is it? And they're like, beans. And then one guy's like, and he runs up, and then hot women, half Barker's age, come out, the Barker's Beauties. I'm sure they love that name. And they're like, I own you, women. Like, he wasn't like that. He was a wonderful man. But if they were animals, he would have loved them more. He liked hot women, but he liked to make sure animals couldn't, their balls were taken care of. Whatever. He was a wonderful man. And spin the wheel, and then people would battle for washer and dryers, or a cruise to Guam, or I don't know, a hat sometimes. And won a hat, like, I don't know, and a little yodeling guy, like, and then these games were like, somebody did drugs in the back and said, here's a game. I think you take a yodel man and we make him climb a mountain every time someone knows the price of hamburger meat or something. But that was Bob's life. Bob made that iconic. So a situation came to Bob. And Bob said, yeah, I'll do this. And then made it this thing the world knows. Which he took that and was able to not only put himself in a movie with Adam Sandler, Happy Gilmore, considered one of the most classic comedy movies of all time. He gets to be in that, playing himself. That's how iconic he made being a game show host. That they're like, we need you, Bob Barker, not to be an actor. You're obviously not an actor. You're a game show host. Maybe you wanted to be an actor, but you're just good at being Bob Barker, a Highlander of Bob Barker. And we need you to be you. We're not needing someone to play you. You're going to be you in this movie, and you're going to fight Adam Sandler. Like, is Adam Sandler being Adam Sandler? Like, no. He needs to be someone else. You need to be you. And think about it. Comedian Drew Carey, who had a monster career, huge TV show, all that stuff, was like, I want to end my life being you instead. I've toured the world. I've done arenas. I've made the world laugh with my TV show and all this stuff, but I want to be you, Bob Barker. So I'm going to end my days being you. That's a good life when just everybody just is like, being you is good. So who cares if you made it to 99, 109? If you won your death pool, you're a creep that you're like, yeah, you died, I won. Like, that's not, no. But, unless you won a lot of money. And then Bob Barker would have liked that because he liked when people won a lot of money. So I think he'd be fine with it. But R.I.P. Bob Barker. Get your, I hope all the animals in heaven are getting spayed and neutered. Hope you and Betty White are running around telling people, like, don't let those puppies have babies. Then, like, angels are like, they don't have babies up here. We just get new dead babies. And you're like, oh my God, that's terrible. Like, it's heaven. That's everyone's dead. You're like, oh, okay. I watched the movie, The Pope's Exorcist. I had to look at the name. I'm going to call it The Exorcism Pope. But no, The Pope's Exorcist. Oh, wait, it popped up on Netflix this week. And I watched it. I'm not a scary movie guy. I'm not. Like, kids are. My daughter really is. My whole life, she would make me watch that, and I would go, and just jump at things. Anything that, you remember that movie where the people would go, like, I would jump every time she'd come behind me, clap at my head. I jump scare or whatever. But I enjoyed them when I was watching it with them. This weekend, I was like, yeah, let me watch this, whatever. There's nothing else on. I've watched a million things. Let me just watch The Pope's Exorcist. Now, if you don't know anything about it, this guy is the Pope's Exorcist. The name kind of tells you. You're like, what's it about? The Exorcist for the Pope. Now, exorcism is when you're like, so sometimes when you meet someone, you're like, I don't know if you're just mean or there's a demon possessing your body. We've all met people like that. Usually, unfortunately, it ends up they're just mean. We call it toxic now. But they don't have demons in them. But sometimes when people do have demons inside them, because the devil came from the nether regions to go inside a kid because I guess he can't get a YouTube channel, so he's got to go, like, that's his YouTube channel. Like, the devil goes into, like, kids and speaks to people going, here's my message, like, when he could just get TikTok. At this point, you think the devil would just have some kind of social media platform? Boy isn't the best social media. Anyway, so I guess it's a popular boy. Like, years ago, if you went in Justin Bieber, it was the devil. Then I guess you really reach people. Like, for you older people, if he like possessed all of Menudo, and they were just like, they're all dancing around going, hey, 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 and they're doing their thing, and all of a sudden one guy just turns and goes, the streets will flow with the blood of the non-believers. Like, whoa, this is a really cool track by Menudo. But anyway, Pope's Exorcist. Russell Crowe plays the Pope's Exorcist. And if you have not watched this yet, here's the two parts I take from this. A boy is possessed by a demon, and Russell Crowe is possessed by Luigi from Super Mario Brothers. Because, my goodness, this is the greatest performance, and I don't mean this in a flattery way, of all time. Russell Crowe is a great actor. He's done a lot of things, famous for many movies. I know him as Gladiator, but so many things. But Russell Crowe getting to be Italian is my favorite. Scusi, I am a Russell Crowe, and I'm here to stop the demon from you. I mean, literally, you can say, Pat, you're doing a stereotype. No, I'm doing the voice. He said scusi. He's driving around on a moped in a in a friar's cloak with a little helmet on, saying to people, a cuckoo, a scoozy, and just driving beep, beep, and it's so, because he's on his moped driving to a castle, stop a demon, being a boy and killing a family. Take a car. No, I'm a total Italian. I was gonna take a boat and then row it and say, "Oh, solo mio for your family, honey robusto," but not too spicy, eh? But I couldn't do that. They should have gotten that hand, remember, from Hamburger Helper, the Italian hand. That should have played the Pope's extra. This was crazy. And if people are like, oh, I didn't read to see if people are upset about cultural appropriation, but I think if you're going to do what they know is the term now, cultural appropriation, actors playing a role that's not them, this is what you do. No one's going to complain because everyone's like, you know what? Because it made the movie watchable for me. Because I knew I was going to get scared. There's monsters, people being weird, screaming. That's not everything I like. But every time it was a terrible thing. And then Russell Crowe be like, oh my goodness, I have a scene. I got to get rid of my scenes. It's like, I'm telling you, sometimes cultural appropriation is a good time. Now, I'm not saying you should do it. But in a movie with an actor, when they can't do it. Now, if there's an actor out there who's Italian and did that, I wouldn't have had fun because they would have just been themselves and good at it. And then I wouldn't have enjoyed it and I just would have been scared. So if you're going to tell me that Russell Crowe shouldn't play an Italian, you're telling me that I'm supposed to be scared alone. I'm always going to be alone, but I don't have to be scared. So I think in this sense, it's great. I think Russell Crowe should play Italians from now on, by the way. Like, it's one. Just watch it for a minute. Scusi. I wasn't scared. If you put that in a scary movie, I'm going to have a good time every time. Have you heard of picklegate? Have you? Picklegate. Yeah. Big thing on the old TikToks and the internet and everything like that. If you're sitting around right now and you're in your house and in your kitchen, open up your fridge. I'm sure you got a jar of pickles in there, right? Pull out that jar of pickles. Look at the jar. Do you see the word pickle on the jar? I know you're thinking, Pat, this is dumb. I'm not at home, but yeah, of course I see the word pickle on the jar. Do you? Because apparently, most jars of pickles don't have the word pickle on it. I guess who started, there was a family, and a boy was, the younger boy said to his family, I want to write the word pickles. And his family's like, we don't want to interact with you. Go open a fridge and read the word pickle off there and learn how to spell it yourself. We're not going to, just be easy to say it to you, but we're not going to, because we're just going to instead make a TikTok video about how you can't spell, and it'll be fun. We'll play fun music to it in the background. We'll have like, ooh, wee, ba, ba, da, ba, 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 and it'll make a billion views that you're illiterate. But anyway, no. So, kid got the jar out and goes, Dad, I can't find the name, the word pickle. All right. So he looks at the jar, and the dad spins around and like, the word pickle is nowhere to be found on this jar of pickles. Pulls out another jar of pickles. This man loves pickles, I guess. And on this other jar, also finds no word pickle on there. Then they start looking and researching stuff and realizing most places don't put the word pickle on the pickle jar. Now, on their websites, it says pickles and stuff like that. So they start to search and look online, and instead of finding the answer, they just find a lot of Reddit conversations where people on Reddit, who those are not people, they're on there going, it's crazy, here's why. You know, some guy was like, why would you put, you want to talk about angry? Some guy actually wrote, why do you need to put the word pickle on a jar of pickles? I have a dog, doesn't say dog on it. Dog doesn't have a label. Your dog doesn't have a label. When your dog looks rough, you're like, he's saying dog. That's that's a dumb. You're a dummy. Dumb. Anyway, it's not on there and anywhere else. So it's a controversy. People are like up in arms. People started reading this. It became Picklegate. People are doing pickle research. People at home are looking around to figure out what it is, why. You know, a lot of people are saying it's because it's a process. We're not. It's like us calling it pickle is like someone calling tissues Kleenex. It's not really the name, so we call it as a brand. But pickle isn't a brand. Pickle is a process. You're pickling something. I guess they're just kosher or dill spears. No one says cucumber spear, but like spears, I guess, is what they are really. And we just call them pickles because we're dope. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not a fan of pickles, really. I mean, if they're on something, fine, but I don't need them to be on something. I don't know why they're on the chicken sandwich with just chicken and then 2 pickles. I don't think they want that, but I like chicken. I don't need just 2 wet things, kind of cold things on my hot chicken. But anyway, you do you, baby girl. Whatever. I don't question. There's a lot of things I don't understand in life, and then I still do them. Like this. But anyway, pickles aren't really my thing. You know what I mean? So I don't really care. But I do like that in the day and age where everyone's like, there's no time for it. But there are people stopping their lives to do pickle research, make a hashtag picklegate to get attention. So people, they can be like, I cracked the case of why the word pickle's not on there. I mean, I know some of them said they even reached out to the companies. Imagine that. You're running, you're the stork who is also a Maytag repairman. Remember where that was that plastic? The stork who wears like a mailman's outfit. I get it. He delivers. It's way on point. We get it, but it's also deliveries that people young don't get. Stork. I don't think anyone talks about a stork dropping off babies anymore. They're like, I think people aren't that dumb anymore. They can now realize there's sex and not a bird baby delivery service. And then you're like, well, that bird's nude, and people aren't gonna know that he's a mailman, so he needs an outfit. Okay, I get it. Pickles though, all right. He's delivering, he's giving you the pickle. That sounds like his next move. It's too early for that. Do something else. Don't do pickle research. I know earlier I said do what makes you happy. Open up the, but I meant with the chance of making that out something. No, pickle research expert isn't going to be a thing. But then again, I'm sure whoever made that hashtag probably has a billion views and somehow has a mansion now that they call them. They open up the door and it's a pickle gate to their pickle gate. So what do I freaking know? Let me know in the comments if your pickle jar says pickles on it. It'd be nice to know if I just read this for no reason. But R.I.P Bob Barker. Scusi, I have to go. I have to go buy some pickles. And have a great rest of your day.